That's very, very exciting. Now understand, this is a subsidy. In other words, our community, we raise the funds, just like we did for the Goodwill. We raise the funds, and then and then we use the funds to buy the food, okay? But then we don't sell the food at full price. We're selling the food at basically whatever the market is, half of that for the paper money you're going to use. And so we're going to get into a presentation here to explain why we're doing this and, you know, how it's going to work. So let me go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and jump into the presentation here. There we go. Let's go into start from the start. Okay. Welcome Kringle Society. The Kringle Society is a global initiative as a sharing and eleemosynary society founded upon the principle that humanity is capable of lifting itself out of the morass of poverty, disease, lack, limitation, suffering, and ignorance into a new dawn of abundance and prosperity for all. This is what we're all about, okay? This is what our community is all about. So let's take a look at how things are in the world today, because we don't want the world to stay the same. We want it to be a better world, okay? But let's just take a quick look at the world today. When we look around, what we find is the mass majority of people are walking around with this belief in scarcity, okay? And scarcity will bring things like war, crime, poverty. You know, what is the root cause of war, crime, poverty? You think about that for a moment. What is the cause? It really comes down to this. It's the belief in scarcity, okay? Now, scarcity is not real. If you look around the world, it's just full of abundance, okay? You know, we live in a world full of natural abundance, and yet mankind is ensnared in an artificial scarcity. And it's artificial because it is man-made. It's, you know, society has been engineered to carry this belief, and then the behavior follows, and the behavior is war, crime, poverty, and it just spreads, those type of things. We don't want those things, okay? We're not about those things. So let's take a look at what's really happening in the world here. And it comes down to inequality, okay? So artificial scarcity has led to massive inequality. I believe the video we're about to watch is dated something like 2013, 2014. So it's not exactly a new video, but it does illustrate this massive inequality.
So I did some research, and this is what I found from reliable sources like the UN. It turns out that while the US is totally out of whack, things are actually way worse for the planet as a whole. Let's start with this graph. A perfectly even distribution of wealth among all living people, with everyone divided into 5 equal groups. Now, let's show how much each group actually has. Shocking, right? 80% of the world's people barely have any wealth. It's hard to even see them on the charts. Meanwhile, the richest 2%, they have more wealth than half of the rest of the world. Let's look at this chart another way. Let's take the whole world's population, all 7 billion of us, and reduce it to just a representative 100 individuals. Here they are, poorest people on the left, richest people on the right. Now let's show how the world's total wealth, roughly $223 trillion, is distributed. The vast majority have practically nothing. Nothing with which to educate their children, nothing with which to pay for basic medicines. While the richest 1%, they've accumulated 43% of our world's wealth. The bottom 80%, meanwhile, that's 8 out of every 10 people,